Alright, I'm going to tell you about a time that I got chased by the military police while flying my paramotor and did not land for them. So this is how it goes. The airfield that I flew into is a military airfield. It's Class D, Monday through Friday. I flew in on a Saturday when it's Class G airspace. Now, anyone can do practice approaches there, even when it's Class D, but you have to have communications. So when it's Class G, you don't have to have communications. No one's there in the tower. But I called the operations there while they were open on a weekday anyways, and asked if they would mind if I flew through there. They said that's no big deal. We just don't want you to land because we're no longer having fixed-wing traffic land at this airport because they're trying to turn it into a heliport. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just do a low pass and I won't land. And I think even when you could land back in the day as a fixed-wing aircraft, you had to get a BPR. Anyways, I decided to fly in and I did a couple patterns, and then all of a sudden I'm doing another pattern over the airstrip, and all of a sudden I see these blue lights just drive over the airstrip, and I'm like, that can't be good. And all of a sudden they get on the ramp that's paralleling the runway, and they just start paralleling me as I fly down the runway. And I'm just looking at them, they're looking at me, and they're driving, and he kind of gets ahead of me, and there's a big grass sod in between us and the airfield versus the ramp. So he parks right at the edge of the sod and starts getting out of his police car and walking towards me while I'm still flying. And I was not given permission to land by the air traffic controllers there. So I've got this cop walking towards me, and I'm just paramotoring along at like 10 miles an hour because of the winds. And I can't land. So my ingenious thought was, okay, I'm gonna turn towards this guy and wave at him and let him know that I'm a good guy. So that's what I do. I turn towards the policeman who's walking out on this grass sod with his lights going off in the background, and I wave at him, and then I keep turning and I leave. So basically I thought about it afterwards, and it probably just looked like I was mocking him. But anyways, so I left and I landed basically across the street and away from the airfield in a field that I took off from. And everything was fine. I was starting to pack up, and all of a sudden I see the cop pulling out of the road that goes to the airfield, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't do anything wrong, and I really don't want to talk to the police. I hope you don't see me. And then all of a sudden his lights turn on, and I was like, okay, he's probably coming over here. And of course he turns towards me, drives into the field, and parks next to my truck and starts talking to me. And I explained to him the whole situation, that I got approval and it was allowed. And he told me that the fire marshal called cops on me because the fire department's always there at the airport. And that's what happened. The fire marshal didn't know that I had gotten approval, and he saw me and was like, this guy shouldn't be here, and he called the cops on me. So I think there was a miscommunication between the air traffic controllers, me, and the fire department. I didn't know they would also have to be alerted. But yeah, so after I talked to the cop and cleared up, he's like, okay, nah, no big deal. And I was like, maybe I should go back and clear things up with the fire marshal. So I packed up all my stuff and I drove on base and went over to the fire marshal, and I told him what happened, and that I was allowed to do it. He just told me that basically he saw someone that he didn't think should be there, so he called the cops. And I wasn't mad. I didn't raise my voice, get mad at any point. I was just like, okay, I understand that it is a military base, and you have some weird paramotor parachute thing doing laps around the airfield. I understand. No problem. It's a really funny situation. The firemen were joking around like, hell, thinking about coming out there and shooting you down with the water hose. So they were cool guys. Actually, I'm not allowed to record on the airfield, which I didn't. And it's been a few months since that whole incident, and I actually flew to the airport today. and it is directly behind me right now. But I'm not gonna turn my head and show you the airport because they don't want me recording the airport. But yeah, I flew this time. I actually told my buddy to tell the fire department that I was flying in and not to call the cops on me, and they didn't this time. I actually didn't even see them out there looking or anything. They didn't call the cops, so I just did a couple patterns at the airfield, and now I'm on my way back. So that's my story about getting chased by the military police. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say that I had to do an investigation, and it was like something you would see out of a movie. I was in this room with one of those double-sided windows and cameras, and I had to basically write what happened and then answer a bunch of questions after that when the investigator came in to talk to me. It was no issue, but I had to do it. Ever since then, everything's been cleared up and fine, and it's honestly just really funny. It's kind of just a joke. So now that they know me and know not to call the cops on me, I decided to come back just for fun. Here is some footage from the police pulling up and talking to me. Enjoy. What's
up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
What are you doing?
Getting done flying.
Getting done flying?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you know you were in a restricted area, right?
Right. I actually fly 60s over there, and I called base ops and got approval from them.
Okay.
A while back they said as long as I don't land, then I don't need a PPR or anything like that.
Do you have a ID on you?
Yeah. You mind if I get in my truck?
Yeah, no problem. We'll just push you. Why didn't you come down when you saw me?
Because I can't land. I would have, I promise.
100% can't land even if there's an MP there?
Yeah, I mean, I just did whatever, because it is an airspace, Delta, well, go off right now. But they said not to land. I didn't want to violate that. Okay. Yeah, sorry if and also you don't need comms in there in class off airspace, so I just made sure to watch out for those guys. I saw them actually, made sure to get clear, and they definitely saw me. They were looking.
Yeah, that's obviously why I got pulled out here.
Yeah, well, sorry about that, man. I didn't.
It's cool. I mean, I don't really know the procedures. I just got a call saying there's a dude parasailing over, Simmons Airfield. I'm like, probably, I think it was the chief firefighter that was there.
Okay.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned, here you go, sir. Someone said that, maybe, it's one of their guys, medic, whatever. And I was like, it's a possibility, but, I've never seen this before, so,
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's okay. I just want to make sure you're not, like, some Randy, flying over our bases and, see you got the GoPro and,
Yeah.
taking videos of all the cool shit we have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was just trying to call you.
Alright, cool, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you can't land, but, maybe next time there's something, different you guys can do, so, I'm not getting called out here, for...
maybe the firefighters do something like base ops or something.
Yeah, definitely, link up, be like, hey, I'm gonna have one of my guys, he's gonna go parasailing or whatever it is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a powered paraglider.
Paraglider, okay. Yeah. Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw you coming out and I decided to leave, and I was like, can't really tell him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't start shooting.
Unless you were shooting at me.
Yeah.
But, alright, hey, you enjoy the rest of your night.
Alright, man, thanks a lot.
Definitely talk to whoever it is, if you're gonna do it again.
Okay.
Try to coordinate something better.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you have a good night.
You too.